This is Guest DJ on Central Ohio's Alternative, CD 92.9.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to Guest DJ here at CD 92.9, warming up perhaps for our Guest DJ every day in the month of May. Don't forget to submit your playlist for those at cd929fm.com. But today, we're joined by very special guests, Corey and Liz. The Cordial Sins are here. Welcome to the studio.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to have you. You said you haven't been in this part of the building before, which kind of took me by surprise.
We have not.
Yeah, or at least in this room. Yeah, I think we've been at the bar area quite a few times, I think. So, but not in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah, for anybody listening along, we do have two bars at the radio station. One upstairs as the Big Room Bar concert venue, and then a slightly more insular
Private bar. Yeah.
Intimate,
When you
yes.
want to get drunk at 11 a.m. or something, it's a bad day.
Exactly. Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, or 6 o'clock now as we broadcast this evening. A couple of days ahead of a big show for you guys, releasing a record on Friday that you've been working on for quite some time and playing a show to go along with it. What can you, just a top level, what can you tell us about? It's been 3 years. How do you sum it up?
Yeah, so the album name is Small Talk. We've been working on it throughout the pandemic, essentially. Took a long time coming, I guess. And we decided we wanted to do the show the same day and just have a party with our friends, really.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's coming up this Friday. Natalie's Grand View. Tickets on sale now, $15 in advance. The cordialsins.com?
Yep.
Cool. With a V, thecordialsins.com?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. So check that out, and I'm sure we'll continue to chat about it throughout the hour, but you've brought an hour of music, so let's dive into this first. What can you tell us? This first track from Ivy, who I'm not familiar with yet.
Okay, so their bass player, Adam, he wrote Stacy's Mom.
Oh, okay.
So this is his first band, and I think like what seems like his baby in his music career. He passed away from COVID, I think,
Yeah.
pretty early on in the pandemic. And actually, I found this record because of Leslie James. She posted it when he passed away, and I was like, oh, I'm going to check this out. And then I just became obsessed with this album throughout shutdown. So I think this was a big one for writing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
This is Adam Schlesinger,
Yep.
is that right?
Yep.
From Fountains of Wayne.
Yep.
Playing bass in this band. It's not
Yep.
like his side project, but it's
Nope,
like another
playing
one that he was
bass,
involved in.
and he recorded, and I think had a lot to do with like the mixing process and production. So,
Wow, cool. All right, well, let's dive in. The track from Ivy is called Don't Believe a Word. It's Guest DJ at CD 92.9. Some Queens of the Stone Age on the air in the fade. Great selection.
That was
at
me.
CD 92.9. Yeah, how did you put this list together? Liz and Corey from the Cordial Sins are here. This is Guest DJ at CD 92.9. How did you pick these songs? Is it like one and one that we're doing here, or?
I think it was kind of an even split. Corey added his songs first, and then I added some, and we had some duplicates from artists, so we tried to like trim the fat a little bit. I think you had gone first, and you had picked like a lot of stuff that I would have chosen anyway, so I just tried to like round it out with some other stuff that
yeah,
fit the bill.
that's pretty much it. I think I added too many. You were like, oh, it's going to be an hour. And I was like, oh, man, I already added like 8 songs. So I need to save you some room.
Yeah. Yep.
It's so easy to fill up a playlist like this.
Oh, yeah.
Very
absolutely.
easy. It was very easy. Yeah.
Hard to whittle it down. Are these all songs that you've selected today just because you like them or because they hold like special significance to you? Like, for example, that Queens of the Stone Age song. Earlier we were talking about the Ivy track, if you joined us more than a few moments ago, being like some inspiration to your writing. Queens of the Stone Age, similar?
Oh yeah. I have a Rated R tattoo. I love that album so much. I think they're one of the first rock bands I ever listened to, like when I was like 13, 14, and particularly like love that album. I had no concept of like understanding that there were multiple vocalists or anything, but I just loved it. And I've been revisiting a few of their albums, and that one in particular recently, and I was like, you know what, this song is just a jam all around.
Yeah. I think you and me are alike in that way because I remember like my awakening to rock music was Letterman back in like 2007, like staying up late and they played 3s and 7s and I was just like,
When Air Vulgaris came out. I
like
remember when that
fingerless
came out.
gloves.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing in the world to me.
Yeah, I know.
As a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a big Queens fan too. So same thing. Started listening to him at a young age, and just one of those bands that was like one of your first favorite bands.
Yeah.
Like Die Hard. So yeah, I'm glad you added something because I didn't. So
Yeah. Cool. Well, hey, moving on from the Queens of the Stone Age, Cordial Sins in the house playing a show tonight. Not tonight, playing a show on Friday. I'm on autopilot there. It will be tonight when the day is Friday, the 28th. We've got a CD92.9 artist right here that just performed at one of our shows recently, Momma. I'm happy to see on your playlist.
Yes. So I think another local band, Snarls, had reposted. They were listening to their recent single, and I hadn't checked it out. And so I checked it out, and then just went through the whole album front to back, and I was like just blown away.
He's obsessed.
So one of the best bands I've heard recently. So
yeah. Well, let's get into it. It's a song that many of us might be familiar with already from the household name LP Momma with Rockstar. Guest DJ, CD92.9. It's guest DJ here at CD92.9. We're joined today by the Cordial Sins.
Hello.
hey, how you doing?
Thanks for being here, and thanks specifically for playing some J-Som. What does that one mean to you?
We both love this
I was
album.
working. Yeah, we both like this record a lot. And I found it because I was working at a brewery, Lineage Brewing, when it was still open, and there's a guy named Ted in the kitchen who is just a music fanatic too. And he was like, man, I can't stop listening to this record, J-Som. I was like, oh, I haven't checked it out. And so I kept forgetting. He kept asking. And just that night I went home and listened to it, and I was like, wow. I really was just like screwing around, not listening to this album. It's amazing. So
Sleeping on it. Yeah, for sure. I feel like we listened to that a lot, and then I've shown it to other people, and they're just like, I can't believe I don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
And it's just like such a well done album through and through. And doesn't she do most of the?
Yeah, I think she did like most of the recording on her own and mixing on her own for that album, and it's just a stellar record. Yeah, and she did a great job. Yep.
Just astounding to me when people can do their own production in addition to their own music as well.
Yep.
You guys have been making some music over the past handful of years that you will be releasing in full album form on Friday. How excited are you to get this out in the world?
So excited.
I'm really excited, and also like a little bit in panic mode. Like I'm not prepared.
Oh.
And it just feels like a really big thing, working on a record throughout shutdown and COVID, and not being able to show anyone for 3 years. It's going to be a really big, literal release.
Cathartic. It'll be cathartic.
And I'm just ready to party and play these songs loud and as hard as possible. So
It'll be fun. Yeah, it's been a long process, and we did a lot because it was during the shutdown. We did a lot of recording and stuff on our own. And so spent a lot of time like revising and editing, and like you're in your head a lot of the time. And so now to like make it public and add that layer of vulnerability, it's like equal parts like daunting and exciting. So
Yeah. How under wraps do you keep this sort of thing? I mean, 3 years of trying to keep it secret, as you said. What is your like inner circle like? Because I know that you have to send this out to like mixing and mastering, and then you're also probably getting like collective ideas from other musicians. Are you ever like?
Yeah, I feel like over time we have become less strict about keeping it like hardcore under wraps. Like I think a baseline of like secrecy, I guess, would be not releasing videos online that stay online of material that has not been released. Like we're pretty strict about that. But I think this has been a very collaborative process, so it would be really hard for us to have done what we've done without involving people like at a level that feels pretty open, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's only a handful of friends that have heard it, like some of the camp guys and just some close friends. That's it, though. I think we were pretty tight.
Yeah, we haven't shown we really
Yeah.
haven't shown like our family, like, you know, we haven't like had people listen to it a lot because we're just kind of like, it's going to come out and you'll hear it. So let's just wait.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned, I'd like to touch in on that a little bit later. You mentioned one of the camp guys, or some of the camp guys. I saw that Super Sport Records has like a lot of influence in at least some of the physical media that you're set to release. Again, at this album release show coming up on Friday, the 28th at Natalie's Grandview. The Cordial Sins in the building for guested DJ. We do have to step aside here, though, for a brief break. We're back with some more music after this. It pains me. I discovered J-Som and Mitski around the same time in my life. It pains me to separate J-Som and Mitski, but you've got one coming up from Be the Cowboy. Washing Machine Heart. Real quick, what's it mean to you?
I mean, honestly, I didn't listen to Mitski until like It's pretty recent.
Same.
I think comparatively, like we did not find Jay Som and Mitski at the same time. And it was just another person that I like was sleeping on in terms of like I heard her name a bunch, didn't go see her live, I think when she was here, but then found that song and I was like, God, this is like, it's like Saint Vincent. It's like all these, you know, it's just so creative, and the structure of the song is, I think it's just really beautiful. And yeah, I think she's a great lyricist. I just really like that song, and I like the album a lot too.
Yeah, there's always time to discover Mitski. That's what I'll send you into this short break on. We're back in, oh my gosh, like 60 seconds with more music on guest DJ, the Cordial Sins here at CD 92.9. Yet another local gem thanks to our friends at the Diamond Cellar and CD 92.9. It's the Cordial Sins, a song called Sugarcoat off of a forthcoming record that's due out on Friday. And gosh, I wish I could ask the Cordial Sins some questions about the record. Oh, hey, whoa. As I look up,
Didn't see you there.
you're in the studio.
Weird.
It's the Cordial Sins. Thanks for coming and doing a guest DJ, and at our insistence,
I mean,
playing some of your own tunes.
The pleasure is ours. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's funny that bringing you in here and you're like, do people typically play their own songs, like in kind of a tone that's like, do we have to? Like,
We won't whine about it, but like,
I mean, we are here to promote the record, right?
Yeah.
So we might as well play one song.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah, Sugarcoat from the new record. Is that your second full length coming out, would you say?
No,
Since
it's
that-
technically our first. We had an EP out in 2017.
2017. It's pretty long.
It's like 7 songs.
It's almost
so
almost
when
a
you look at
record,
it on Spotify, it's like it looks like it's an album, but to us, it's really not.
Sure.
It's just like a little collection of songs that we were like, these seem good, and
Yeah.
we'll release them. But this is like a more thought out, I would say, structured album.
Yeah, I was going to say, is this that you put more like significance on it just by nature of it being
Yeah.
Yeah.
full length album?
Yeah.
We had to sit with it for so long that I think, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We really dug into what we could do with it. So
Yeah, 3 years. I mean, when we first heard Dog Days back in October, it kind of surprised me to see that was penned like right on the cusp of the pandemic about to happen.
Oh my God. Yeah.
yeah.
It wound up being like weirdly predictive too.
I
like,
know.
Change is coming.
I know. That was wild. I feel like we wrote that, and then everything happened throughout the pandemic, and I was like, well, this is timely, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But honestly, there's another song on the record, Hide, which we released as a single not too long ago, and that one was written even before that. I mean, we could have released that in 2019, but we didn't because it didn't feel like
It was there, yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't meshing with the other songs in a way that felt, I don't know, cohesive. So we waited, and I think it fits a lot better on this record.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're very excited to hear it again. The album release show coming out on Friday at Natalie's alongside Super Sport, which is interesting to see how they have a hand in releasing some of your, what is this? I already forget the word for
the lathe cut.
Lathe cut.
Yeah.
I've got one of these at home. It's got to be so hard to press music to vinyl.
Yeah. Evan's been toying around with it. He has a little machine at home that he's just been doing Super Sport, like 10 at a time kind of thing, singles. And so since our vinyl, we're doing a Indiegogo campaign right now for our actual vinyl release.
Pre-order,
And we weren't going to obviously have it ready for the release show. So Evan's like, let's just like do something creative. Couldn't get, I think, what we actually wanted put together in time, like some demos and stuff. We really had to like kind of dig for that and mix it and all that kind of stuff. So we just did all the singles from the record plus one that will kind of push after the record, I think. So.
Yeah, one that's hasn't been released yet.
Yep.
So Super Sport helped put that together, and they also are helping with some T-shirts and
Merch and
totes.
stuff,
And Allie, who's in-house designer there, helped do put all that together, and it's just feeling really good.
Yeah,
Feels
it is
nice to
feeling
have
good.
like
Yep.
things for the show, and Super Sport's awesome. Corey plays also in Super Sport.
Oh, very cool.
Yep.
Are you ready for that? 2 shows back to back.
I am. And actually, I just remembered that we're playing yesterday. And so I texted Evan like, hey, What's the set list? Are we going to try and have at least one
good prep.
rehearsal before, like if not, just tell me what we're playing. We'll figure it out.
It'll be a solid set no matter what.
Yeah.
There's something cool about like having a more improvisational like tone to a live show, I think.
Sure.
I just saw a guy open up at Ace of Cups a couple of days ago, and he walked out and he was just like, I don't know, like turned to his drummer like, what do you want to do? Like he had no idea what he was going to play.
Yeah, it keeps it fun,
Not Corey's preferred state, I feel. Like
No.
we would never do that with our band, but yeah.
But there's some Doc Robinson does that a lot too, where we're like, hey, we're going to play this song. And I was like, cool, we haven't played that in a long time and I didn't practice it, so let's go.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yep.
But a much more rehearsed show for
Yes.
the Cordial Sins on Friday at Natalie's, thecordialsins.com, or your preferred social media platform of choice for some more info there. Why don't we dive back into some of the music that you brought today? I'm very impressed by this playlist. I feel like we share a lot of music taste in common, to go from like Jay Som and Mitski straight into some Wolf Alice.
Nice. Yes.
What are your thoughts here?
Big Wolf Alice fans.
Yeah.
And we had the privilege of opening for them at the Basement in 2017.
Yeah.
Actually, the radio station helped us out with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
and
awesome.
that was a dream come true, no doubt.
I feel like Wolf Out. I remember us releasing an EP in 2017, and that was when we were just like starting to kind of find our footing, I think, with our releases and our sound. And then we found Wolf Alice after that, and it felt like they were like almost this inspirational sound that we didn't have before, but like really resonated with us. And I was kind of surprised that we hadn't heard them, because I feel like I admire so much of their music and like the variety of the textures and songwriting that they're able to accomplish. Like, I just think that is like what I want from a band. So yeah, we heard them for the first time, and then we've seen them several times since then. And they put on such an awesome live show.
Oh, yeah.
10 out of 10.
There's so much complexity to their work, not only like within a track, but within their whole discography as well.
Exactly.
But as for now, I guess we could say, if you'll allow me, that we'll simply play the greatest hits.
Hey.
Had to. It's Wolf Alice, guest DJ with the Cordial Sins, CD 92.9. A selection from the Cordial Sins here at guest DJ at CD 92.9. And an artist that's going to be headlining one of our shows this June, the Pixies. Monkey Gone to Heaven, great pick.
Yeah. Doolittle is an all-time, probably, it's always hard to pick your top 10 albums, but it's in there, for me, at least. So, yep. And that's just it's just a banger from that album. Yep.
Speaks for itself, really.
It really does. I can't tell you how many times I've thought the same thing, standing here and playing like anything from the Pixies catalog to come out of like, where is my mind, to be like, what can you say?
I mean, come on.
It's a great song. You heard it.
You know.
It's the Pixies. I do want to shout out their show again here in Columbus. This June, it's the CD 92.9 Summer Kickoff. We got the Pixies, Franz Ferdinand, and Bully on the same bill.
Stacked.
CD929fm.com/events. We hope to see you there for that. And we hope to see you in a couple of days for another show, much sooner, at Natalie's Music Hall. Natalie's in Grandview. The Cordial Sins here with us at guest DJ.
Hello.
And releasing their album on Friday.
Yeah.
We're very excited about this. We were talking a little bit ago. We were talking off mic, not to bore anybody. We were talking about like export taxes and tariffs and the way that the world turns. But it does remind me of something that surely you must have been dealing with over the course of these 3 years planning this record. And that's pressing it to vinyl.
Yes.
People forget how expensive it is to be a band.
Yeah. The thing is, when you are doing things independently, it's not even just the financial aspect, it's the having money up front, right? So it's like the reason we wanted to do like an Indiegogo paired basically as a pre-order is because I think that's what maybe a label would do anyways.
Right.
Right. And that way they wouldn't have to front everything up front. And so, yeah, we're trying to make this as sustainable as possible. And we know people are going to want vinyl. I want vinyl. Corey wants vinyl. We're really proud of the music. And so in order to do that, we're like, well, we're just going to have to suck it up and ask people for their money up front.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think that's just kind of the way it works when you're doing it independently. And like, as we mentioned earlier, we're really lucky to have Supersport helping out with other merch items. Like that helps round things out for the show and make it feel like a proper release party. But yeah, pressing vinyl is so expensive, and we've done it before, and
It's costly.
Yeah, it's costly. So
I mean, we don't need to shy away from the number. It's listed on the Indiegogo page.
quite literally.
2,509
Yeah.
is the figure.
Yeah,
at the
that's
end of
the
day,
figure.
just to
And-
press the wax.
Yeah, and that's like, we haven't even added in like fancy, it's just like a single.
Yeah, no, it's just like standard packaging.
Yeah.
Like the packaging is really what's like super costly. We originally wanted to do like a lyric sleeve, and
Yeah.
all the stuff that's like makes vinyl great and fun.
Collectible,
and,
yeah.
Yeah. So
Those dreams out the window.
But maybe maybe next pressing. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea of that you could really open the door with this one. You get your limited edition first pressing over at this show or on the Indiegogo page for the Cordial Sins. And then, you get to roll out like a deluxe edition gatefold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
not?
That's the way to go.
We'll see
Yeah.
how it goes. I mean, you never know. And like, luckily, we'll have the lathe cut vinyls, and we're just gonna do one
One run.
run
50.
of those of
Yep.
50, and they're
That's
like
it.
a transparent blue, like kind of like electric blue. So we try
Yeah.
to make them
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
So you should get one of those. I'm talking both to the audience and also to you. Maybe you get one of those and then like flip it on Discogs later.
Absolutely. Yeah.
not?
See what we can
Because
go for.
Limited edition lathe cut that you can find this Friday at the show. Congratulations, by the way. I don't think I've said that
Thank
yet.
Thank you. Thanks.
On putting such a
Thank you.
long-awaited record out into the world.
Thank you, and
We're
thanks for
very
playing all of our
excited.
singles.
Yeah,
I
of
appreciate
Of course. Our pleasure. Perhaps we'll slide another in before the end of the hour. Perhaps not. We'll see how much time we've got as we go from the Pixies to the Smashing Pumpkins.
it.
How about this?
Yeah. I feel like this is just my realm. Like,
Yes.
it's the late 80s and like throughout the 90s, rock is just like ingrained in
Your
me.
wheelhouse, for sure.
And yeah, that's me. So a lot of Smashing Pumpkin sounds I feel like have carried over into our music, and
Like
so
guitar
I
work.
just had to put a Smashing Pumpkin song on there because it just made sense.
Perfect. Get into the influence
Yep.
of the Cordial Sins. It's Mayonnaise. The Smashing Pumpkins, a guest DJ, CD 92.9. It's guest DJ at CD 92.9, a song from Big Thief called Shoulders, off of, I hate to admit to this, but I did say off mic that I was going to. Probably the only Big Thief record that I'm not, like, familiar with.
Yeah.
And I need to.
Two Hands. Yeah, that was they put two albums out kind of back to back, UFOF and Two Hands, and Two Hands was the one out of those two records for me that I
Yeah.
just felt like all the way through front to back was just a banging album. Yeah, there's all home runs on that one, no doubt.
That might explain a little bit, actually, in terms of why I might not have gotten to it, because I was so hung up on UFOF.
Fair.
I never even. And then later on, they kind of did the same thing with Dragon New War Mountain, where it was
Yep.
like the one album, and then surprise, it's two albums. Actually, there's
Yep.
more coming. You
Yeah.
know, what a great band.
Yeah,
ever thought-
wild.
You ever thought of putting out a double album?
If we could get it together and write that
Yeah,
much
this-
material in one sitting.
This is a feat in and of itself. 3 years, one album.
There's a couple songs that didn't make it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, what's 3 years?
Yeah.
Of my whole life, sure.
We got a long-awaited record from the Cordial Sins coming out on Friday. Thanks again for joining us in the studio and
Yeah,
playing
thank
some
you.
music.
Thanks for having
Yeah.
us.
The new show the show that's going to be performed. I suppose you could call it a new show. It's new music.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, yep. And we haven't played Natalie's Music Hall as like a headlining show for us yet. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit bigger than the rooms that we're normally selling out. So that'll be fun too. Yeah.
Yeah. How excited are you to take this show on the road? You got a couple of dates. I liked actually looking at the 3 dates that I saw on your calendar. They're all like Person's Place, like Natalie's
Yeah.
Pizza. Then you go to
Yeah.
Cole's
Cole's
Bar,
Bar.
and then you finish it up at Arlene's Grocery.
Very nouny. Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's-
didn't really think about that actually.
Crazy how your brain works.
So weird.
Yeah, we're really excited. We haven't played in Chicago since the pandemic.
Yeah, we were playing Chicago a lot
Yeah,
before.
we really did play. I mean, that was like one of the places we played the most, I think, outside of Columbus. So we're excited to come back. And actually, we're doing kind of like a show trade with North by North, who's playing on our release show. They're from Chicago. So
cool.
we're doing that show with them. And then we have one in New York. And we love playing in New York. So
Arlene's Grocery.
Yeah.
Legendary spot, like
It's
punk
sweet.
grunge venue since I think like the mid 80s. Still open.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
awesome.
Not too big. And then yeah, Cole's Bar's dope. Cole like runs sound, runs the bar, he does
Really?
it all.
Oh,
Yeah.
no kidding.
And it's like
He's a real person.
You don't
Yeah.
really mic a lot of things, do vocals and,
Yeah, it's
and
divey.
whatever else,
Wow.
maybe synths, and it's loud and it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's small
amazing.
and it's cool. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Well, safe travels when you do hit the road.
Thanks.
Catch the Cordial Sins this Friday before they do. As we start to run out of time this hour, we should probably just slide on as much music as we can before we part ways tonight.
Totally.
What can we say about the Heartless Bastards? A name that rings a bell to me, and I can't remember why.
Yeah, so they hail from Cincinnati, and are active now again, right?
Yep.
So they like were on hiatus for a while. Erica Winterstrom was doing like solo stuff, I think, during that hiatus. We opened for Erica for a few dates when she came through, like 2019, 2020. And so actually I listened to Heartless Bastards for the first time in high school and had really no concept of like where they came from and what they were about. But I particularly like love that song and from that record.
Yeah.
And I think she has an incredible voice, and her songwriting is also pretty profound to me. And we just wanted to, add somebody in there that we kind of played with.
Yeah, add a friend in there.
Yeah. She's awesome, and she, all of her new stuff is equally as good. So
cool. Shout out to the Heartless Bastards. Here's the mountain. Oh, we haven't done this bit yet. I should have explained this when we weren't live on the radio, but usually at a guest DJ, as I remember them, we always try to like trick the guest up in just a little bit. Be like, it's guest DJ on
CD92.9.
Yeah, you say CD92.9. I forgot to clue you in on that, but. We'll get to the Heartless Bastards. It's guest DJ with the Cordial Sins on
92.9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say CD.
All right. Well, everyone knows.
Okay.
Well, talking about live music here in Columbus, coming up with the Cordial Sins, who joined us today on this episode of Guest DJ.
Hello.
A show that just happened from Built to Spill. Were you at that show? How was it?
It was good. They were only playing as a 3-piece, but it was still fairly loud, which I like. And your brain kind of like puts together some of the missing pieces. But also, I would love to see them with like 3 guitarists. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, they haven't done that in a long time.
It's just their music for me is so impactful because his voice is like a little higher, and it sits on this bed, this texture of like guitars. So when that's not there, it's a little harder for me.
All the textures and melodies and things.
But nonetheless, I mean, he's an amazing songwriter, amazing guitarist, and it was fun. I think it was fun to watch and be able to hear his guitar parts like really, really clearly. And they seem to have like a lot of fun with, the 3 of them. So it's cool.
Yeah. That's a very astute like musician's take.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
my
learning.
brain. That's when I'm watching them. I'm like, yes, no, yes. Yeah, it was cool.
That's incredible. Well, thanks for bringing such beautiful music. We'll post this playlist online somewhere, I'm sure, by the end of the night at CD929 FM on your social media platform of choice. But as we run out of time, is there anything that we didn't mention that we should mention? I mean, the show is on Friday. The new record is out on Friday. The Cordial Sins here in the building.
I think the only thing is that we're doing an Indiegogo campaign for our vinyl pressing.
Yeah.
We're, I think, a little over halfway there, and we got
60%.
maybe 20 or 25 days left. So got some cool perks going on, limited edition stuff, and you can check that out on thecordialsins.com.
Yeah.
Sweet. Check it out. I always like to, this reminds me of the Andy Manathon that we do at the end of the year, where we're like raising money on the air. I always like to suggest that if you know like a very rich person,
Oh my God.
they could help in the
Love
drop
that.
of a...
Literally.
If you hear that, go to thecordialsins.com and check out our Indiegogo campaign.
Give
Eric
us your
Clapton,
money.
if you're out there.
Please help us.
It's like a little sliver of your income. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Support the arts.
Yeah. Come on.
Check it out, whoever you are. I mean, on that Indiegogo campaign, we should mention that there's like tiers for every bit of
Yes.
support
Absolutely.
too. Some of them come with digital downloads, some of them
Yes.
pre-order the record and
Yes.
merch and more.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm actually sending the digital downloads out today.
Whoa.
Yeah,
If you're
early.
listening to this, check your
Wow.
email. If you ordered one of the album tiers, check your email. You'll be getting the record today, almost a week early. Yep.
Yeah.
Almost a week early, really?
Well,
I mean,
5 days.
5 days.
5
You-
days.
you-
Oh
it
my
was
God,
hyperbole,
it's
but-
Monday. Oh, jeez. I was like, it's coming up in a couple of days. It's on Friday. What are you talking
sorry.
about?
Yeah, it's 5 days.
Yeah, it's
sorry.
Monday. Well, I hate to end this guest DJ set on that, but I wish you the best on your Monday evening. I'm out the door for tonight. Tom Butler's up next at the 7 o'clock mark, and I might try and hide some new music after the break.
I
might
like that.
A little track called Hide. The Cordial Sins. Thanks again for joining us on this guest DJ session.
Thanks
Yeah,
for having
thank
us.